Hello friends, welcome to my new video. In this video, we will see how to do basic prompting for integrated financial statement analysis. On the screen, whatever you see, the tick marked use cases have been completed already. Please check my earlier videos in case you have directly landed in this video and not understanding what are the tick marks mean. And the current discussion is highlighted in green, current topic. And in the last video, we saw in detail what is integrated analysis. I want you to please go through that video, understand before coming to this video, and we will see the next 2 3 videos how to gather inferences from integrated analysis and the complete set of financial statements. Any use case I take, I normally go with a very basic prompting, which even a newbie can start with. So that is the kind of prompting I start, and then go to a structured prompting. On the screen, what you see is a structured prompting, which we will discuss in the next video. So now we'll go to the basic prompting part, and for this case, I have considered two extremes. Two extremes, I think, two cases, two company financial statements. One is carborundum universal, which commands a reasonably good position in the market in which they are, and another one is Gensol Engineering, which is in soup for corporate governance for the last couple of months. So I purposely took both the extremes to see how the results stack up. So let me start with the basic prompting now. Please analyze the attached analyze the attached balance sheet, P&L statement, and cash flow statement. Provide a detailed inference from this analysis. See, please note, see, mere analysis of a financial statement is of little use. You need to gather inferences for making some decisions. Say, for example, current ratio is less than 1. What does it mean? What does it hold or indicate the condition of the company? So that inferences is what we are looking for, and hence I'm adding this line. Please provide detailed inference from this analysis. So let me add the that whatever I told, carborundum universal financial statement here. Okay, let us see how the output comes. So, okay, first it analyzes the balance sheet. He gives the ratios. It gives the ratios like total assets, what is the growth, current assets, what is the growth, all that it's giving. And for each of this analysis, it gives some interpretation or inference, whatever I told you. Equity liabilities, profit and loss analysis. Good. So, what was the growth of revenue from operations? What is the growth from total income? All that. And expenses breakdown. So, what are the cool? It's very good. So, what was the different expenses? Then cash flow analysis. Then key observations. Prudent capital expenditure. Okay. Equity changes. Key financial ratios. ROE, healthy, debt to equity, debt free company, strong liquidity position. Current ratio is 3.41, which is very strong. Overall conclusion, financial strength excellent. Strengths are debt-free status, growing profits, robust cash flow, consistent dividend payment, and significant cash reserve which was built in the current year. Areas to watch, this is the modest growth. So it brings out both positives and negatives. It says the growth is very modest. Then there is slight decline in comprehensive income. So maybe I'll, now this is over. I'm happy with that. Now let me repeat this what to say analysis for Gensol engineering. So I'm attaching the Gensol engineering financial. Please repeat the same analysis for the financial statement of Gensol engineering. Now let us see whether it is able to bring out the flags. One comment on total assets is there is a massive expansion of assets. Goodwill has jumped due to acquisition. But trades receivables has jumped, so it says that it requires better collection efficiency. equity and liabilities. One point is it is debt fueled expansion. Okay. Short term debt also surged. The company has rapidly leveraged its balance sheet to expand to fund expansion, a high risk, high reward phase. P&L analysis. Okay. Revenue and profits both have increased. Finance cost, okay. Employee cost, okay. Then cash flow analysis. Working capital stress due to receivables and advances. There has been a heavy capex, which is funded by borrowings. Despite operating cash flow being negative, cash flows grew because of financing. Now concerns. Negative operating cash flow, highly debt financed growth, increased risk. So it gives a increased risk for the investors. Then there are other ratios. Summary, strength, okay, risks, high debt, negative cash flow operations, high finance cost. Are there? No. Instead, tell me if there are any red flags in Gensol. Compare the profits in P&L versus actual cash in cash flow versus cash flow statement. So this I'm trying to dig more to see whether it can bring out the few red flags. Yes, it says there are a few red flags. What is the flag? Red flag. Okay, it sees there's a huge difference. Like one side it reports a net profit of 53 crores, but the actual cash flow is minus close to 100 crores. So inferences, despite reporting 53 crores, the company burnt 100 crores cash in operating cash flow, a complete reversal from last year. But last year it was the other way around. It was 23 crores reported profit, whereas the operating cash flow was close to 115 crores. What does it suggest? That profits are not getting converted to cash. Then working capital strain or driving cash flow outflows. Trade receivables increased, other assets increased. So what all are good and negative? So all these have been listed here. And what are the implications? Debt load is ballooning. So earlier borrowing was 500 crores. Now it is touching 1,400 crores. So what it says, if interest rates, it is able to give its inference to the extent like, if suppose interest rates raise tomorrow, the debt will become, servicing the debt becomes a challenge. So, and whatever you see on top, the summary of the red flags, whatever you saw, and final takeaway. So the model is reasonably able to do an integrated financial analysis and give its inferences. In our next video, we'll discuss more on a structured prompting. Bye till then.